Hi guys, you're welcome back to my channel. This is Ajulam here. Thank you so much for the love and support. Please, if this is your first time of checking out my channel, please subscribe and tap the notification bell. So guys, today I'm going to show you how to make an African print short as well. So let's do the waistline. The hip line. So from the waist to hip is 6 inches. So this is 6 inches here. Connect it to a straight line. So next thing to do is to mark out the crotch line. So to determine the crotch line, I'll measure the hip. I'll divide the hip measurement by 2. So for this short, the hip is 30. So 30 divided by 4 is 7.5. So for the crotch line, I'll measure out 7.5 here. Now connect it. So the thigh line, I'll use 2 inches from here to determine. I'm using 2 inches because the girl is a bit chubby. So, but if you're making for a slim girl, you can use 1.5. So I'll be using 2 inches from here. That is the thigh line. So this is it. And the length of this short, I want it to be 13, but I'll be making it 12 because 1 inch will be for the band. So this is 12 inches here, the length. And I'll connect it as well. So this is the hip line, this is the crotch line, this is the thigh line, and this is the length of the short. So now I'll mark out 7.5, which is the hip divided by 4 here. This is 7.5, and I'll connect it to this crotch line. So this is 7.5. This is 7.5 here. So I'll connect it to a straight line. Okay. So now the next thing to do, so on the crotch line, I'm going to mark out, I'll use the thigh measurement divided by 2 to mark out on the crotch line. So for this, the thigh measurement is 18. 18 divided by 2 is 9. So I'll mark out 9 inches here. And I will add 1 inch for ease to be on a safe side. So then I will connect it to the hip line here. You can use your hand and trace it, but make sure you don't go too deep. So this is it. Okay. So on the thigh line, I will put in the thigh measurement, which is 9 here. And for this area, I'll only add ½ inch for ease, which is here. I'll put the same thing on the length, making it 9.5. So I'll connect it. Okay, so here for the waist measurement, the waist is 24, so 24 divided by 2 is 6, which is here. is here. This is 6. I'll add I'll add quarter inch for ease, which is here, and I'll add half inch for that allowance, which is here. So I'll connect it to this point here. You can also use your hand to trace it. Okay, so this is it. Now I'll check what I have here and I will determine the midpoint. Here I have 10, so the midpoint is 5 here. So this is where I will determine my dart line. So I'll mark it out. Check what I have here. I'll mark it all the way down. So this is 5. This is 5. This is 5. Connect it to a straight line like this. Okay, so this is where we'll determine the darts. So here the darts I'll be using half inch on both sides. Oh sorry, I'll be using quarter inch on both sides, which is here and here, and I'll come down by 3 inches, which is here. So I'll connect it. So this is the dart. Okay, so now here I'm going to add 1.5 for hemming and the waist seam. So let me add 1.5 here. So this is my 1.5 for seam. I'll just connect it. Just connect it to a straight line. Okay. This short I don't want it to be fitted because I'll be adding a little tool or net on this hem area. So that is it. I'll just add in my half inch for seam allowance all round aside from this area. So let me just do that. So as you can see, I've added half inch for my seam allowance. So okay, this line should come here. Sorry. So this is it for the seam. Okay. So now I'll just cut it out. So all I have to do is to use my front pattern and place on a plain sheet. As you can see, I've traced it out. So this is what I'll be using for the back pattern. So I'll connect all the lines together. This is the thigh line, this is the crotch line, and this is the hip line. This is the center line that will determine the dart. I'll just connect it to a straight line. So after tracing it out, here this is a mistake here. Please ignore this. This is the crotch line here. Okay, after tracing it out, I'll check what I have here. Here I have 3.5. So the midpoint of this is 1 3/4, which is here. Okay, so here on the crotch line, I'll mark out 1 inch and connect it. So after marking it out, I'll come down by 1/4 inch here. Okay, for this area, I'm going to mark out 1.5 exactly on this point upwards. So this is Okay, so I'm going to mark out the back pattern like this towards this area. I'm going to mark it towards this area. So just connect it. Make sure you don't go too deep. Okay, so this is the back. This is for the back. This is the new line for the back. What I have here. Here I have 8 inches. So I'll transfer the same 8 inches from this point now. So this is the new waistline for the back. So I'll connect it from this point to this point here. So okay, so this is the new point for the back. Okay, so to determine the depth for the back pattern, I will check what I have here. Here is 3.5. I'll transfer the same 3.5 here. Okay, and here also is 3.5, which is here. So for the back pattern, I'll come down by 4 inches. So this is the front, while this is the back. So I'll just join the two sides together, and I'll do the same with the back one as well. Let me just do that quickly. Parts and the back parts as well. So now I cut it 3 inches, and I just gather it because I want to add it on the hem area. So to know how to gather this, please check out my video on how to make a simple skirt for a girl, and you can see how to do this. So now I'll take this, I'm going to run this on this down area. Okay, so I'll just open it up and sew it here, but before then I'll just trim this area before I'll join this. So let me do that quickly. See, I've added the two or the net on the hem area. This is the front. So as you can see, I just sew in between, so now I've also sew my dart area, as you can see. So now I'm going to join them together. I will first and foremost, I will sew this area together from this point to this point. I'll do that before closing the both sides. So let me just do that. So I have joined it both sides and this area as well. So now I will put my zip, but before putting the zip, this is my zipper allowance, I'll add the band and I'll fix the zip and I'll show you the final look of the pants. So let me just do that quickly. So for the band, I'm using 3 inches so that by the time I fold, I'll end up having 1 inch when I join it with the shorts. So this is the length of the waist and 1 inch for 1 inch for zipper allowance. So I'll just fix it like this. I'll start from the inside and I'll join it all around the waist and then I'll turn it. To see more of this, you can check out my video on how to cut and stitch an Ankara short for a girl, and you will see how I will do all this area. So let me just do that quickly. This is the final look of the shirt. It's already looking beautiful. As you can see, it's very okay fitted but not too tight. So that is it for today. I hope you were able to grab 1 or 2 things from today's tutorial. So please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to tap on the notification bell so that you get to know anytime I put up a new video. So guys, see you soon.